Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well, and today I'm going to be showing off for the first time on the channel a gameplay demonstration of the Make Your Own card game. This is the first card game I showed off on my channel, and if you like what you see in this gameplay and you want to play it yourself, I'm going to be hosting later this week on my Discord server the first Discord game day. It'll be this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though if you want to get in your game earlier or later on the day, then you can definitely let me know. We can work something out. But in the meantime, I've got these two decks here ready to face off. On the bottom you have a hero focused deck, and on the top is a combo deck based around getting things into your discard pile and then using the cards in your discard pile for effects. And so both players are starting at 40 life here, and the goal is to reduce the other player's life to 0. I've already shuffled the decks and have drawn the opening hands. The hero's opening hand has all these cards. You can see they've got a Delta Warrior Gale, a burst attack, a super coin, a couple of nice things there. And as for the discard deck, they don't have a lot, but they do have quick draw, which can help them get some cards in their discard. Tempting offer is good too to help fill that discard up. They got a few nice cards for protection as well. They can work with that. And so now we got to decide who goes first. I think evens will be the hero deck goes first. Odds the discard deck goes first. It is odds, so the deck on top is going to go first. Now, the player going first does not draw a card or attack on their first turn, but the first thing they do get to do is take one card from the top of their resource deck, and they get to put it into play. These are the action points which will be used to play cards during the game. And to spend an action point, all you have to do is turn it to the side to show it's been spent for the turn. And don't worry, at the start of your next turn, any spent action points will return to their normal position. The top player is going to play a card. They're going to play a quick draw, which is an action card. These cards just do something once and then are discarded afterward. Quick draw here allows the player to look at the top two cards of their deck, put one of those cards into their hand and the other into their discard pile. And these are the cards off the top. I think they're going to take this Wonder Sword, put it into their hand, and put this Energy Might into the discard pile. And that's all that the top player can do. Let's see what the hero deck can do. So they're going to draw a card. They're going to get their one action point. Unfortunately, they don't really have any cards they can play right now, so they're just going to hold off and take their until next time. So second turn, they get their second action point and a new card. Here's what they drew. And the top player is going to play something. They are going to spend one here, play a Wonder Sword. And then now they have a character on board. At most you can have up to 5 characters in play. Though even if you have multiple characters, you can only choose one of them to attack on a turn, so you'll have to think carefully when you go to your combat step so you can decide what they're going to do. And the top player is just going to simply attack. They've got a character they can play. Characters can attack on the same turn they come into play. It's a pretty simple thing. So they're going to use their Wonder Sword and attack their opponent directly to cause some damage. So, since the Wonder Sword has 2 attack, that means the opponent here is going to be taking 2 points of damage to their life, bringing them down to 38. And that's their attack. And now it's time for the hero player to go. They're going to get their card, Battle Rush. That might be useful in a little bit. But, in the meantime, hero player is going to spend 2 for Delta Warrior Gale, and since he's being played from the hand, he gets to activate his team attack effect. So look at the top 4 cards, and they get to grab a hero or a character with Delta Warrior in its name, and it goes to the hand. I think they're going to take this Flora Sky for next turn. So the rest get shuffled in. And now that now that the hero player has a character on board, they have a chance to attack as well. So when your opponent has characters on board, your characters have to attack their characters if they're able to do so. And when they do, you take the attacking character's attack and subtract it from the target character's defense. So Gale has 2 attack, the Wonder Sword has 0 defense, and if your attack is higher, you'll be able to destroy it and deal deal damage equal to the difference to the opponent. So Gale's going to attack to the Wonder Sword, which will destroy it and send it to their discard pile, and the owner of that character is going to take 2 damage. So now it's tied at 38. Both sides have 38 damage on them. Well, they have 38 life remaining, I should say. But now that I've attacked, it's the other player's turn. Now they're at 3 cards, and there's what the top player drew. That can be useful. Not a whole lot of options. They're going to actually use their action points to play a card. They're going to play this Tempting Offer. This is a recent card I made. You get to look at the top 4 cards of your deck. One of those cards goes to your hand. 1 card goes to the discard pile. 1 card gets removed from the game, and the last card goes on the bottom of their deck. So they're going to do. So 4 cards. They're all going to unique places. Got some interesting picks here. Fix It, I think, is going to go... They're going to put this sentient deck of cards in their hand. As for their discard pile, they're going to put Dr. Pock into the discard pile. They're going to remove their Ghostly Guide from the game. And then finally, this Fix It's going back on the bottom of the deck. And that is that player's turn. So it's the hero player's turn now. They're on their 3rd turn. Card. Now they got to decide what to do. Got some pretty interesting things to do. I think they're going to get another character on board here. They're going to spend their 3. Play Flora Sky, who has a pair of good abilities. Restoration, which is between turns, the player gains 1 life. And then Growth Cycle, which allows them to once per turn pay 2 power, to discard a card from their hand and draw a card. So now that they played their character, they're going to attack directly with Gale again, deal 2 more points of damage in direct damage, bringing top player down to 36. And now that they've ended their turn, Flora Sky is going to activate, bringing him up to 39 life. And now it is the top player's turn. So they've got 4 action points to spend now. Some pretty interesting cards here. I think they're going to play... They're going to spend all 4 for a Shadow Dragon. That's going to be pretty helpful here to get that Flora Sky off the board, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to let the Shadow Dragon is going to attack. Well, it has to attack each turn of Fable because of its ability, but they're going to attack the Flora Sky. 8 minus 4 is 4, so Flora Sky is going to be destroyed, and the red player goes down to 35 life. And now it is the red player's turn. So they get 4 action points. They draw their card. What did they do here? Not really much, but they are going to... They're going to play the Super Coin. Spend 3, play a Super Coin that causes their opponent to flip a coin. It's tails, but Regardless, the player gets to draw 2 cards. So those are the 2 they drew. And Gale is in the red player's just going to attack here. Now, the attack and defense of the 2 characters are equal, so what happens is both characters will end up trading. So Gale's going to attack into the Shadow Dragon. Both the Shadow Dragon and the Super Coin, not the Super Coin, the Gale ends up being destroyed and discarded, and no life is lost. So it is back to the top player's turn. They are now at 5. Draw a card. Lava Burst is their card. The top player is going to spend 3 to start off. Play a sentient deck of cards. And would you look at that? They've still got 2 power remaining. They're going to use it to activate the ability on it, which is haste. Once per turn, they can pay 2 power to draw a card. So what they do, that's a pretty good one for that player. And the sentient deck of cards also has another ability in Solid Frame. If the character is knocked out by battle, the player who owns it does not lose life. So now that they're open, the blue player is going to attack and deal 4 damage, sending the red player down to 31 life. And so now red player gets to go. They're on 5. Now they gotta make a decision on what to play. They've got all these cards in their hand. Let's see here. What do you... They're going to... I believe they're going to go ahead and play... Don't really have any follow-up play if they... First attack. They're going to go ahead and spend 4 just to play Johnny out there, get some field presence, and they're going to attack into the deck of cards. While the blue player loses no life, they do destroy the deck, so that's going to go away, and it is the blue player's turn. Up to 6. There's their card. They've got a pretty big opportunity here if they want to take advantage of it. And I think they're going to do it. They're going to spend 4 on this multi-man here. And so they choose a character in play, except for multi-man, of course, and the character copies the attack, defense, type, and abilities of the chosen character as long as he remains on the field. So Multi-Man's going to copy Johnny here. He's going to become an 8/1 character who's also a brawler and a hero. And he's going to attack with that Multi-Man into Johnny. Even when Johnny's destroyed, Multi-Man's still copying Johnny. So I'll just put it like that to remind. And so the red player is going to lose 7 life, so that'll bring him down to 24. Almost to half their life. So now it is the red player's turn once again. They draw. They've got 6. Question is, what do they do with it? I think what they're going to do is they're going to start off by playing this burst attack to destroy the multi-man. And then draw a card. And then they're going to spend their last 2 to put down Lumia, which has 2 abilities that are once per turn. You can either spend 2 to gain 2 life, or spend 2 to look at the opponent's hand. But I think for now, though, they're just going to attack with Lumia, deal a point of damage, sending the blue player down to 35. And now it is the red player's turn. They draw, dash, which is good. They're at 7 power. They have enough to play their Akari of the Underworld if they want to. which I think is what they're going to do. They're going to, in fact, spend all 7 for Akari and put it into play. 5/5 Dragon Spirit with the ability Soul Eater, which allows them to spend 3 power to remove any number of characters in their discard pile from the game, and they get +X attack until end of turn for each character removed from the game in this way. So when they're able to activate it, they're able to... They can potentially remove 6 characters from their discard pile to give it +6 attack, which is pretty dangerous. But in the meantime, Akari is just going to attack with 5 damage on this Lumia, take it out, deal a point of damage to the red player, bring him down to 23. So back to the red player's turn. They draw. What do they play? Good question. I think they're going to try to go a little more defensive here, potentially. Or, I think I know what they're going to do. They're going to instead they're going to spend 6 to play out the Hydro. They can't activate its ability yet, but it'll be useful here. 6 attack, 4 defense. They can pay 2 power to allow Hydro to attack directly. So they're going to let Hydro here attack, which will destroy Akari and will also deal another point of damage. So the blue player's now down to 34, red player's at 23, and now it's back to the blue player's turn. They're going to gain another unit of power, draw another card. And as for what they want to play, I think what they're going to do first is they're going to play Dash here, which will cause them to spend 2, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. And they've got a pretty good option here. They're going to go ahead and discard this for the effective Dash. And now they have a pretty good card, a couple of pretty good options they can play. I think what they're going to do, they're going to spend 6 to play Sheldegoth the Summon, who has an ability that allows them, for each character in their discard pile, the character costs 1 less power to play. So they can reduce by up to 8 now, since they have 8 characters, but I think for now they're going to just reduce by 6. And so all characters, well, actually, it does require them to move all characters. So 2 will be, so they'll just pay 4 for Sheldegoth. And now all 8 characters that were currently in the discard pile are going to be removed from the game. No real effects on Sheldegoth the Summit. It's just a big character, 13 attack, 13 defense. And it's going to swing unless the blue player has anything else they want to play. It doesn't look like it. So they're just going to swing with their big spirit for 13. Take out Hydro and deal 9 damage. And that's going to send him down to, that's going to send the red player down to 14 life. They're getting low. But now it's the red player's turn once again. They have 8 power. Question is, what do they want to do with it? I think they're going to spend 8 on their Ice Spike, which will knock out an opposing character, and its controller is only allowed to spend half their available power next turn, rounded up. So they're going to be getting 9 power next turn, but they're only going to be able to spend 5 of it, which will help hopefully slow them down a little bit. Fortunately, the red player doesn't have anything else they can play, So it is going to be the blue player's turn. Draw another card. It's going to be a recon. They can only spend 5 power. I think what they're going to do is just spend 4 of it on some defense. They're going to play a shield wall, which has taunt, which means opposing characters can only choose that character when attacking. And if it happens to be knocked out, they get to draw a card for it. 0 attack, 6 defense is pretty big. So now it's back to the red player's turn. So what are they going to do here? They're at 9. They're going to, I think what they're going to do is they're going to spend all 9 on Tarea, Goddess of Creation. It has ward, which means opponents can't choose it except to attack. And its ability, its second ability, states that whenever an ability would trigger from a character entering play under your control, the ability triggers an additional time. It's pretty useful. And it has 7 attack, which means it can easily get over the shield wall and deal a point of damage at the same time. So they're going to do just that. And the blue player gets a card out of it, but they're also going to go down to 33 life remaining. So it is back to the blue player's turn. They're now maxed out on all their power. Fortunately, they don't have a ton they can play at the moment. But I think what they're going to do, they're going to start by playing a Flight of the Phoenix, which allows them to choose up to 3 characters from their discard pile, shuffle them back into their own deck. So you're going to take these 2, shuffle them back in, which will be pretty helpful here momentarily. And that's going to cost them 3. They have a magic eraser, but it can't really target the Tarea because of that ward. But they are going to continue to play out some more characters. They're going to play a lock here for 4. Who has evasive, meaning it cannot be attacked except by characters with evasive, and because it was played, it gets to return an action card with cost 3 or less, and they get to bring it back to their hand. I think they're going to bring back... They're going to bring back Dash. And then they're going to spend 2 and play the Dash to draw 2 cards and then discard 1. They're going to discard and do the World Eater into their discard pile. No real good attack, so they're just going to pass, and so it's back to the red player. Red player draws. They're going to start off by playing a steady shot to attack, to destroy the lock. We'll go down. And they're going to spend 4 more to play a Call of the Heroes to search their deck for up to 2 hero characters, reveal them, put them into their hand. Now we got to see what they want to play. I think they're going to take Raylan as one of their options. We'll take a Blitz as the other option. That seems good. Definitely going to be useful here coming up. So they got 3 power left to spend. The question is, what do they want to spend it on? I think what they're going to... They're going to spend their 3 to attach a modifier to Tarea here. They're going to attach this Meteor Glove, which allows the modified character to attack twice when it attacks. So they're going to do that. they're going to do some damage here. So Tarea's going to attack twice and do a total of 14 damage, which will actually bring the blue player down to 19 life. So just one swing, the red players managed to come back a little bit. So it's now back to the blue player's turn. There's a nice little card for later. They drew Sheldegoth again, but I think for now they're going to play. They're going to spend 9 and play the other. They're going to play Kuma, God of Destruction here, who similarly has Ward and a similar ability, only this time it causes abilities that would trigger from characters being knocked out under your control to trigger an additional time. So it's a nice counterpart to Tarea here. And Kuma's going to actually crash into the Tarea here, take it out. They're both characters will trade, but they're losing the valuable piece of equipment too, which is very nice for the blue player. So now it's back to the red player's turn. They draw. And the red player's going to spend 4 for Raylan, who has an ability, Quick Shock. When they play the character from their hand, the opponent gets to choose and discard a card from their hand, and they lose life equal to its cost. They're gonna, I think, lose their Elusive Man here and take 4 damage, sending them to 15. And what else do they want to play? I think the red player is going to also play a Blitz here for 1, who's like the Wonder Sword that I played earlier in the game. He is critical, meaning he attacks into an opposing character. He just destroys it. It's pretty nice to have. And then finally, he's going to, well, not finally, he's going to spend 1 more for a Sinister Plot, which requires him to discard a random card from the opponent's hand. So I think they're going to take this one. They discard a multi-shot from their hand. Very good removal card to lose. Then finally, the red player's going to spend 3 on a Battle Rush. Since they control 2 characters, they can play it. And it allows 2 different characters of theirs to attack in a turn. And so they're going to do just that. Blitz is going to attack, and Raylan's going to attack. And they're going to inflict 6 damage, sending the blue player down to 9 life here. So blue player has 9 life. The red player has 14. So it's very close. Question is, who can finish their opponent off first? So they're going to draw here. What do they want to do? 1, 2, 3. I think they're going to spend 8. Bring in Sheldegoth the Summoned again. Fortunately, they have 4 characters in their discard to help reduce the cost, and those are going to get removed. Sheldegoth is back, and now Sheldegoth's going to swing at Blitz here. And that's going to send the red player down to 1. So barely on it. They were not able. So the red player was barely able to survive that attack, and now the red player has decisions to make. And I think they have a pretty good plan here. So first things first, they're going to retreat, choosing the mode to return an action card from their discard to their hand. We're going to pick this Battle Rush here. They're going to spend 3 more for Citrus, who has the evasive ability and critical ability, which you're going to see how powerful critical can be in just a moment. And then they're going to spend 3 more on another battle rush. They're going to allow both of those characters to attack. So Citrus is going to swing first. It's going to swing at Sheldegoth. The Citrus is going to lose. It's just going to be destroyed and sent to the discard pile. But because it has critical and it attacks Sheldegoth, it's going to get destroyed too. And now Raylan's going to do the other attack. It's going to deal 5 damage. So it's a pretty close race here. And now it is back to the blue player's turn. They're going to draw. And I think the blue players got this, though. They're going to spend 9 to bring in the spooky, scary skeleton, who has some interesting abilities, but most importantly has 10 attack, and they're going to swing with the skeleton to attack Raylan and deal that last point of damage onto the red player, and the blue player wins the game. And that does it for a complete game of the Make Your Own card game. Definitely leave a like if you enjoyed this little gameplay, and if it helped you out, definitely leave a comment below. And as always, you can ask questions. And once again, remember, I've got the Discord game day coming up on Saturday. If you're interested in learning to play this game for yourself, you can join the Discord. Link is in the description if you want to try it out. And speaking of this game, I've also got the Make Your Own Archetype contest going on. I'll have a link to that video on screen as well coming up shortly. So if you enjoyed the contest I've put out, you can definitely subscribe to stay up to date. I try to upload videos every Thursday and Sunday, so on videos about all my card games. I'll see you guys in whatever video I upload next, and take care.